Okay. Okay. Well, happy day. And we're thrilled that you're here. And this is Barb's Team Connect call. We have Renee, Beth Poindexter, and Carol Collins, Sandy Duff, and Julie Little with us here. But we know a lot of our American friends are transiting to probably a big turkey dinner for tomorrow or something along that line.
Right.
And so I had promised that we would record this because there's just some really wonderful things that we can be doing together. So I was sharing with the girls, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up the Power and Light page here. So let me share because I've already posted one of these here. I want to make sure you've seen it and you know where to find it. So, okay, so here we go. So here's our Power and Light page for our Facebook group that's connected with Power, which of course is the resistance bands with Dave Hurley, and Light, which is our LifeWave phototherapy. And then along with that is mindset and health. But what we've done here is I've even um, featured the post, but I'm going to go down to where it's right here. So here we have it, and I'm going to try and see if I can make it a little bit bigger. Okay, here we go. So I'm just going to try and make this a little bit bigger to see if that will. Okay. So so here we have this wonderful group of people, and we're opening this up. We have some more people that are wanting to get involved. And so the door is not closed on this because they can be starting right away. But here's what we're really looking at. And we're looking at pioneering a sub study inside the Power and Light Reset. Because as we talked last week, it's now become a huge opportunity that we're doing the exercise, we're doing the hydration, we're doing the patching. And I was going to be sharing anyway some placements for a lot of the new folks that they don't know how I got to do 130 squats in 30 minutes. And definitely the light therapy is key for that. But Dave Hurley had said that the one word that sums up fitness is core. So two of my clients had said, well, if that's the case, what patches do we use and where do we put them? And I thought, wow, what an opportunity for us to do this as a strategic week by week where we have different placements. Everybody has, they take notes. I've made it very simple. In fact, I have a one pager for a week that you can just tick off as far as the different things that you'd be checking on. But also, um, what we'll be doing is adding two different patches to this, and that will be Energy Enhancer in the States or ENR Spark in Canada, and also Ice Wave, which we just today was launched the wonderful Black Friday specials. So if people don't have those, they've got an awesome opportunity to get the X39, the X49, the Energy Spark, and the Ice Wave at a discount. So here's what we're focusing on.
Oh, wait a
We
second.
want,
The Black
okay, so
Friday specials in terms of timing. It's
right.
so interesting. I call this a God thing for you, Barb. You came up with
Mhm.
this idea, and then it just so happened that the Black Friday specials are bringing forward the patches that you want to include here at 25% off. And I just want to know if you have an inside track in either God Direct or LifeWave and how you're bridging those two for your program. I'm just asking you. Do you have
Well,
an
I
eye
do have
track?
a philosophy and it's skip the middlemen,
Okay, go
go
direct.
right to the
Okay.
top.
Okay, so 25% off on some of the patches that we need. And I just want
Hmm.
to put a little note in there. If you're listening to this and you're going, how do I get there? How do I get there? You
Hmm.
go and you click on promotions in your back office and it'll show you the promotions and then you can purchase. And then you might need to change your monthly subscription because what you're getting on sale at 25% off, you may say, well, I'm going to change my monthly subscription. I can move the date and I can choose what I want because I'm getting something on sale now. I just want to make sure that we say that up front, Barb. Is that all right?
Oh, yeah, that's perfect.
Okay.
And
Okay.
absolutely to move out your monthly subscription because this order will count as being active. So that's really key.
Right.
So here we have all of the synergy of all of this coming together, and I'm really excited to see what we will end up, uh, finding um, what. Um, sorry, uh, I'm excited to find how the responses are going to be because we're already getting people that are recording some pretty amazing things. And I was on the call this morning, the 9 o'clock call, and Jane McKay from Lac La Hache was on there, and she was asking questions of Ta. And Ta said, well, let's find out about you and etc. And what's interesting is she had just been to the physiotherapist and she hadn't even put two to two, one and one together to make two. And the physiotherapist said, well, from your car accident with the seatbelt, my, your neck and shoulders are really doing well. And of course, Jane McKay is in the Power and Light Reset, doing it very gingerly to start off with because of the big car accident she was in. But just we're really starting to hear wonderful responses coming back. So anyway, so this is why this matters. This helps position the participants with being evidence-based ambassadors because we're going to put these together and have a tool for you so when you're approaching somebody who's in fitness, somebody who's in hockey, somebody who's doing line dancing or whatever it is that you've got saying, hey, I've got this wonderful resource and this is compiled from different individuals sharing what they experienced and what they found is key strategies and key things to do to get you more active, more well, more less pain, all of that. So this is just a little browse that you can go through this on your own. But we've got basically these weeks that we can be incorporating this. And it's obviously, most of us have been using X39 and X49 already, which, of course, like Renee said, is on sale. And then what we're going to be doing is changing the placement of that, thanks to, first of all, Carol sharing some strategies last week. And then we've gone further with researching to find out, and then adding the energy enhancer and ENR Spark, thanks to Ta, and also Ice Wave. And so we're going to be doing these different placements. They're going to make a big difference. And then, so here's for people as far as being a participant is basically it will guide how we support people seeking better recovery, stronger performance, and patch supported exercise routines. So, just again, what we're looking for is 6 to 10 individuals that will come forth, participate with us for this duration, and then we'll be able to go forward with that. And again, we've got some wonderful tools that we'll be supplying people with that. So anyway, so here we are with that.
So,
So
can I stop you for a
yeah,
minute?
yes, you sure can.
Because the process of combining a lot of the what we offer in our community that's really unique, that once people order and get their patches directly from the company at wholesale pricing, whether they're a preferred plus customer or they are a brand partner. In our community, everybody gets the equal support in such a way that they start off with their program, and then what this Sellergize Wellness Workbook that allows us to do the tracking. And when you look at that tracking document and then look at the new protocol that's coming through on the new 10-week review that we're doing, is there any recommendation that we need to make on the tracker that we don't have now? I'm just curious about that.
Oh, okay. Let me just
Because
I'm
it
just gonna
says, you can add different things, but you're asking
right.
people to add
Right.
certain
So let
patches
me,
third
yeah,
week or
good,
so.
excellent question. Let me just change this to hmm, okay. Um, we'll start here. Okay. So people that do uh, step into this with us, and I hope you'll all consider it because it's going to be so wonderful, community wise, etc., is you will have a new checklist.
Oh, I knew there's something coming that I didn't
Oh
know anything
yeah,
about. Okay.
yeah. So this will be very easy. We've tried to keep it really, really simple to do. And so this is the daily checklist, week number one, date. You know, did you wear your X39? You're going to check these off. Okay. And then as we progress, there'll be weekly assigned patches and we'll be telling you where to put them, right? And then the hydration, the stretching, because as Dave Hurley had shared, it's great to work towards three 20-minute or rather 30-minute stretch, workouts a week, but every day should be at least the sitting stretch exercises so that we're keeping limber. Oh, on that note, Renee, tell us about what your fitness person said about your arms and shoulders.
Well, it turns out I've been working out with a personal trainer for a couple months. And I was working out with her twice a week, and then I moved to once a week because I'm starting to work with Dave's resistance band training. So I got two feedback messages this week when I worked out with her on Monday morning at 6 a.m. after driving back from Vancouver, long drive. Got up the next morning and worked out with her, and she was quite impressed because she's having me doing balance exercises and weightlifting and so forth. And she said, "Your core and your posture is, and you're so even and it's so much more balanced than it was a while ago." And then what's interesting is that because I was working out with her twice a week and then I moved to once a week, right? But I'm doing the bands now. And so she's noticing a difference. That was the first sign. And then the second sign was when I connected with a friend of one of my business associates that I worked closely with for many, many years. I saw him for breakfast in Vancouver right before I left to come home and drive home to Portland, Oregon. He gave me a big hug and I gave him a big hug and he goes, You have been working out. I can tell the difference. I said, yeah, it's amazing. It's kind of cool when people start to notice the difference. I mean, my personal trainer is looking at me from one perspective. My friend who hasn't seen me in person for about 6 or 7 months also saw a big difference. So it's kind of confirming, that sometimes we can't see ourselves, Barb, to the degree that we need to, but getting that kind of feedback is always confirming that I must be doing something right.
Well, it's very encouraging, and we're hearing that from, a good, a
Right,
20% of the
right.
folks who are
Yeah.
participating.
And I
So,
want to post that in the group. In
mhm.
this weekend, I'm going to get caught up on all the technology parts that I need to be doing. I've been actually living my life in reality rather than talking about it on social media, but I will catch up.
That's great. And so this one pager also then goes into a weekly checklist where you're just going through. Here we have aiming towards 30-minute resistance band workouts. And what I do is I really love the tutorials because I've got Dave in front of me and I'm just repeating the ones I can do. There's ones I can't do, and I'll probably never want to do them, but there's some that definitely I can do. And I'm surprised with all around here. Like it just seems
Your
the,
neck and
the
everything. I could see it. I could
yeah,
see it in you
yeah,
when we saw each
it's
other.
like,
It's like,
wow, it's like, well, something's
right,
transforming. And
right.
definitely, like I posted, like, it's like, what's that bump? Oh my goodness, it's a muscle.
Right. Well, hey, I have a question for you because the busy woman that you are, how do you fit the 30-minute resistance band workouts? Do you do 30 minutes at a time? When you say 30 minutes, and what does
No,
your schedule look like? Is it like, are you like really on target with every day being a certain rhythm, or give us some
I'm,
insight on how you manage
well,
your three
I'm,
30 minute?
I'd love that to be the case, Renee, but not as yet. But my goal is when I was working one-on-one with Dave, I was having 2 30-minute workouts a week, where he is counting you down. So you know how when you have a trainer,
Yeah, yeah,
keep you going, whether you want to quit or not. So,
right.
so, so this is why the 3 30-minute ones virtually is so wonderful to do. But what I do is I break it up and I have 2 15 minutes in a day. Like while I was waiting from 3 to 3:15 today, is I did 15 minutes, just pulling Dave up on my phone,
Hmm.
right here. But no, I find it difficult to do a full 30 minutes. Often I'll do them in 5-minute increments. Like, okay, I'll do,
Okay,
because almost
okay.
every tutorial is 5 minutes.
Right, exactly.
So,
That's what I've
so
been discovering, right? It's like kind of like, and it all adds up, and you start to notice that the more you do, the more you can do over time. And that's the other thing that's kind of magical. It's like how the resistance band training and what we're learning in 5 minutes. I mean, 5 minutes can be really powerful. I never thought about how powerful 5 minutes could be,
right.
right? It's kind of like it starts to, and it's got a compounding effect. It's almost like the
Hmm.
patches, the more you wear them, the more you notice um, the regeneration that's occurring over time because your body gets used to a certain rhythm. And that's
Right.
what I see that kind of related. I don't know how to measure that in a double blind study, but I think that might be something to notice
Hmm.
as we add these additional ice wave and energy and our spark to the
Yes.
program.
And I think another component of that is in our Power and Light Reset group, we have a real grouping of people that have had knee and lower back issues that haven't been able to do all the tutorials. So I've been checking them out, and there's a good 3 of the tutorials that are all upper body. And so I
Right.
encourage everyone, if you haven't already zoomed in to find out which ones those are, it's really helpful to just see how helpful they are. And of course, the sitting one is not in the tutorial section. It's in basic, called basic. Um, bands
Oh,
or
okay. Okay.
something like.
I don't think I've found that one yet.
Right,
So
yeah,
I have
it's
to
an
find the
intro
basic.
one, yes. So
Okay.
so there's actually six of them that we have access to with that.
Okay.
So
All
so
right.
anyway, so this is the one pager, and basically, and some people who have Fitbits or iPhones that they can check how many steps they've got or whatever. All of that will be helpful to be able to help uh, collect data, and then putting which patch combo were we focused on that week, because it'll be a full week of doing placement in a certain spot. And then just, finding out, well, how consistent were you able to be? 100, 80, 90, 60, under 60, whatever. So that we can just have an assessment saying, hey, okay. And then that would be one of the one pagers that we have there to be able to help support along the way. And I've decided, because I gave something to Renee in person because of having all the Americans there, and thought, okay, we, you saw the big box. We're not telling you what was in that big box that came. That no, hide that quick, put that down. So, anyways, I have this made a executive decision that whoever comes into the this core response pilot study, that they're going to be able to be sent one of these prizes, just because we appreciate that they're going to put some
Right.
time. And I've tried to make it so it's like a 5-minute assessment every day, and on Sunday where you go through just looking back over the week, it's another 10-minute type thing, just to be able to keep it simple.
So Barb, when people fill this out, a daily and weekly checklist, they're filling it out because we're in this study, right? They're filling it out for themselves. And is there a way to be accountable to the group with that or not?
I would like them to use this as a printable and have one for each week. And at the end of each week, send it off to me so that I can consolidate all of those notes.
Right. Would you want like at the end of it to have like a chart of what they discovered each week, or do you want each individual item? Because I think the accountability part here is like, it's like I know when I show up to work with my personal trainer, it's important that I show up because if I don't show
Hmm.
up, I'm not going to get the results, but I'm also paying for it, right? Here,
Yes,
people are
again.
paying for this to be a part of this group. But
Hmm.
the idea of the accountability of what we can see for ourselves each week, it's almost like when I get that, when I'm accountable for what I am doing in the group, it's like there's an awareness that it's not just for me, it's for others. It's like I'm showing up in a way that makes a difference. Because even if I didn't do it for me, I'm doing it for you, Barb.
Hmm.
And then there's a collaborational view of others who are going, wow, as a group, look what we discovered that we couldn't have
Hmm.
figured out by ourselves. Because normally, I'm pretty accountable to myself, but not as much as I will be to you.
Hmm. Yeah, I think we're all made that
Yeah,
way, aren't
I don't
we?
know if, it's kind of like I just did a podcast with a gentleman who he said, when I put my self-care first, he goes, I kept putting it behind because I could get to it, I could get to it. But as soon as I said it, I was going to do it for someone else, it became a priority because I didn't want to let them down. Sometimes we
Yeah.
let ourselves down, but when we do it for other people, we're really more committed. So I just want to say that I think this is another aspect of um, community energy that's going to help elevate people beyond what they think they can do individually, but collectively, there'll be some sort of an epiphany that comes as a result.
Hmm. And for those folks that looked at that first sheet and said, well, I need it a little different, here is a two-pager. So you can have your weekly intentions that you set each Sunday, but your focus is, and then we have a daily checklist that you can
Oh,
just
that's
check off.
cool. I like that. You can do that, that
Yeah.
you can actually see it all in a line.
And
That
then you
makes
can
sense.
circle how was it? You can
Right.
circle whatever number it is, and then, just a summary, and again, how consistent you were.
So- yeah. So are they
And
circling that at the end of the day then? When they circle their energy, it's like at the end of the day, they're looking at what they accomplished and how they felt during the day in terms of when they're circling that.
yeah, they
Just
could put that into the notes over here too.
right.
And
Okay.
we'll probably edit this as we get more feedback from people once they're doing it.
Right. So
But
at the end of the day, they're looking at where was my energy at the end of the day? Where was where, or maybe it's the beginning of the next day, looking at the day before because they're looking at sleep quality, and
right,
stress. It's kind of like,
right.
I think that's a really important point to make because if we're not looking at it on a daily basis, like say in a clinical trial, you would be like monitoring a lot of things, right?
Mhm.
So monitoring our own experience on a daily basis is going to be essential in making an appointment to do that, like in the morning and the reflection of the day before or something, because
Mm,
you're looking at sleep quality at the same time, right? So
right,
sleep quality would be like, how did you do last night? How did you do yesterday? And you're creating a
right,
new day.
right. And the other aspect too is because people will be doing their resistance bands workouts on different times. They can be looking at this, some of this as far as, their numbers could be when it's say one of their exercise days where they're doing the half, where they're doing the 30 minutes. So that's
Hmm.
so that's another aspect. But just
Right.
wanted to just highlight how that looks there.
Right.
Um,
That's awesome. There's so
so
many things to monitor. I think that's a good thing because sometimes you know, we don't always see everything unless we're looking for it. So
mhm.
that's a good checklist.
Well, I think getting us after being at the road show and just seeing the impetus of what's coming with the quality of people that are starting to really show up that we're attracting. I think for me, and Renee, I really would love your feedback on this as well, as far as 2026 is just 5 weeks away.
Oh my.
Like here we are, we're actually priming the pump here. That's
Yeah.
how I see this. Instead of waiting till December 31st at midnight where
Oh yeah.
we grab the exercise ball and and all that, and we throw ourselves into
Right.
10 days of a goal and then
Oh yeah.
kibosh that. But here we are, we're priming the pump to be able to have a tool for the team to use where we'll be having, special mention of the people who participated so that they get kudos for, investing their time.
Right. Right.
But just to really, you know, years ago, I'm not even sure which marketing person we had that was such a catalyst for change. We've had, being in the industry for so long, we've seen many, but he
Yeah.
always finished every month and every year with finish strong. And this is sort of my mantra for this is let's finish strong, not wishy-washy, not, I mean, we can all aim for more. Whether if we're shy of that, well, that's okay. We're still going to be more improved than where we started, right?
Right.
But the
Exactly.
finish strong for 2025 based on what we're seeing. I don't know. I just feel really inspired with this and so appreciated having with Carol last week, bouncing this around. Carol, thank you so much for the insights that you had because when I spoke to Ta about them, she said, well, that's perfect.
Well, I'm very glad I could help. Thank you so much, Barb.
Well, just it's a cool thing. So,
Yeah.
Renee, what's your thoughts? And then we'll maybe
Well,
then
it's the
finish off
power of
of what.
community. It's the power of community, it's like when Carol was asking, well, what do we do to strengthen the core? What are the patch combinations for strengthening the core? And because I'm tied into fitness and my feed in my phone, it's got me figured out. Say, well, let's give her all these fitness things. And I'm looking at core exercises, and then I'm looking at the resistance band training. And then I'm listening to Carol when she was saying about placements and the connections, because, quite honestly, most people do not know how to integrate the possibilities. It just, many of us know that many people don't even know that they're not aware that what they eat has a whole lot to do with how they feel. And now what we're connecting is about energy and movement and patch placements and the idea of regenerating your body with light and movement. These are concepts that most people would not see integrated. So in this community, Barb, and because of you, Carol, and your expertise, and Sandy, you bring so much as well to the understanding that you can shift and change your well-being based on your choices. And then what is movement and patch placement and energy shifts, dealing with the body's capacity to regenerate itself, those are real higher concepts that are not taught anywhere else. So by having an experience here as a group where we're moving and we're doing these, like, let's see what we can discover. It's not like we have it already made up of what's going to happen for us. It's like there's some surprises coming as a result of our playing with the possibility of integrating some concepts that have never been brought together before. And I love that. I mean, the little kid in me is going, okay, it's never too late to have a first childhood of playing with what am I going to discover over the next 10 to 12 weeks? So each person that's participating in this community and their own experience is going to be new information about who we are becoming as we what's the right way to say this, as we shift the way we look at aging, that we're reversing aging or whatever it is. There's not enough scientific validation that that can even occur, let alone a group of people that go, well, what if it could? Let's find out. And Barb, I think that's part of the mission of this group, that I want to remind people that you're doing this for you to see the shift. We're doing this for each other to see the shift. And then there's a whole lot of other benefits that are going to come from people that haven't even begun to think about the possibility. And this story is going to help them go, well, maybe I can do that. So that's where I see you leading this, Barb, because you are a teacher extraordinarily gifted to thinking of systems and tools and process that includes people. And then we lift each other up by our own experience. So thank you for your leadership on this. I so appreciate it.
Oh, well, it's just it's exciting because I think we're all, as we've discussed this in the past, I think we're all on a quest to lessen the fear of aging
Oh,
and
yeah.
to change the face of aging.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
and with that in mind, after seeing at the conference what David Schmidt has on the cusp of bringing to us, I feel emblazoned to tell people, let's get you into the system so you can at least stay strong long enough until the science gets to us where it will make that big an impact, like I'm
Right.
the and having that Dr. Rachel sharing that in 18 months, she's seen more positive changes that as a doctor of 30 years had never been told were even possible.
Right.
So,
Exactly. It's
and to
like,
have, wow, just,
Yeah. Well, there's a lot more people coming in, but the most important thing is everyone that's listening to this recording, as you come into the reset and this clinical trial, is that what we want to call it? It's a clinical trial. It's not really a clinical trial. What is it? It's a
We've given it about six different names. So it's a core response study group so that we can create a tool and consolidate
okay,
our
a core
experiences.
a core response study group. So that must be CRSG, a CRSG, core response. That's something unique that what can a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens do to be the change they want to see in the world? Well, let's find out. And I think this is a cool opportunity to do that. So, Barb, this is checking my date. I'm still in November. How about you? Are you in November?
I mentally sometimes I'm not,
Okay.
but
So
so
for this core response group and the next phase of what we're doing begins now. And it goes, but people can participate anytime they choose to. And we're beginning now. And what's the length? We're talking 10 or 12 weeks. What
we
is
were
it?
talking 10. The last 2 weeks of the 10 were to be using their favorite placement. So they've got a 2 week stretch of being
Right.
able to
Okay.
say, "Yeah,
Okay.
that's the one that helped me the most." And I've been experimenting on me, this guinea pig so far. And I've been reporting to Ronnie whether he wants to know or not. Guess what?
Good. That's good.
Guess what? So it's quite hilarious, actually. Who at 77
Excuse me.
runs to an 80-year-old to say, guess what's happening to me?
Oh, yeah. Are we talking about chronological age and then biological age is completely different, which is another part of the story that will be revealed as we continue to
Yes.
play in this arena, right?
So let's talk about the steps for the people that do want to, step across the line and say, hey, yes, I'm really interested. I want to be part of this so that I'm a pioneer helping make this tool that we're going to be able to use. So what they need to do is basically put up their hand and I will send them a little sheet. It's all of 5 questions, I think. So we know that they are opting in. And then at that point, I'll also be sending them the breakdown of what's going to be happening over those weeks and their own. And maybe I'll give everybody the two different assessments. I like checking off boxes. I don't know,
I think
maybe.
that would be a good thing. I think people need
Yeah,
some check sheets
that
to know that
that
they're involved.
right. And so again, just like Power and Light, people do need to be registered for the tutorials with Dave Hurley. By the
Right.
way, he's working on some more tutorials to put in the group. Uh, so
Right.
we're going to have more of that, as well as they need to, of course, have the X39, the X49 that will be used throughout the weeks. And then we'll be adding, first of all, the ENR Spark or energy enhancer, and then Ice Wave, and using all four at one point. So we'll be really being able to see which placements help us in a myriad of ways. And what I haven't put on the response sheet is what other things changed. Like for me, my digestion totally changed. We're not even talking, of course, that's core, it's gut, right? So we don't know what's going to happen. So we'll be having all of those. Well, let me just give some reactions here. We'll just, we'll just be having all of those fun things happening
Right.
for us.
Well, let's ask Sandy and Carol what they're receiving as they listen to this next phase of the project that's naturally unfolding, divinely guided, and what they see for themselves. Let's ask them. And Julie, if I know Julie's driving and not able to maybe talk, but would love to hear from others here that are here today. What do you think?
Well, Barb, I like your plan and your what you've put out to us. it's quite a challenge. And but because it's recording every day, then we're going to see where we go. It's going to be very interesting. I like the challenge. I do like the challenge.
That's
And I
great.
think it's great.
Okay.
So are we starting on Monday with this new challenge?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Barb, I'm just wondering, could people take a picture of themselves before they start?
Oh, yeah, I did. I won't be showing it to anybody, but
Right, but the idea is
but
like
I
what
did.
Carol's saying, it's kind of like, well, I'm starting and then what? You know what I mean? It's kind of sometimes reporting in to other people, but then seeing it for ourselves. Let's take a picture. Not that we have to share it with anyone, but Carol.
Mhm.
Well, when I need a new wardrobe, then that would be a really good thing, but in one way, but not in another.
Well, the whole idea is that you could take it naked. It doesn't matter what you're wearing. I mean, your body's changing. You can't see it through the clothes anyway. Or maybe you can. I don't know. But I'm just teasing you, just take a picture where you could say, I'm looking for the evidence. And sometimes it shows up in ways. And if we're not seeing it, we can't see it. It could be subtle.
Sorry, no naked pictures.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be another project, wouldn't it, Carol?
Yeah.
I don't know what it would be. Scary, probably.
Okay. Okay. It reminds me of a comedy routine that I want to do someday. I'll call you up on that when I get ready. All right. What do you think, Sandy? What's going on for you?
Yeah, I'm finding it challenging in a lot of ways because of old injuries. So I've just been moving fairly slowly because I found in the first week I think I was a little bit too excited about it, and I've kind of went backwards in some of my old injuries. So I'm moving more slowly.
Well,
But you're
perfect
moving, but
because
you're
yeah,
moving.
yeah. It's like more slowly to what? I mean, your body is your guide, right?
Right. Yeah.
Like each moment of progression is your choice on that evolution. And the fact is, I always experience you as very optimistic and positive of, because of all the things that from your accident and so forth, it's kind of like looking for the shift, the positive shift, and it always occurs when you look for it. And I've noticed that about you. You see it when
Oh,
you're looking for it, right?
right. Thank you.
Yeah, that's true. I get that. So, Barb,
Let's
for all the
just see
people
if
that,
let's just see
uh,
if Julie can come off mute. I don't know. Julie, are you driving or do you have access to talk to us? Because I think of you with your son that was taking hockey way back and wherever it was, Milwaukee or wherever it was way back when. I think of you definitely, and doing massage, you definitely are around people that are wanting to be less restrained with movement, etc. So what's your thought? Can you come off mute? We'll give her a minute and see if it works. She might be driving, so might not work. Okay. Okay. Well, Renee, we'll go back to you if you want to do a little, maybe a summary why we're encouraging people to join in with us on this, and then we'll get this sent out to everybody.
well, there's a couple of reasons. If you're part of the LifeWave community, there's a couple of things that you might be noticing. Is number one, how to take your own personal testimonial to another level. And two, what happens when you start to integrate some ideas that might help you communicate with other people who are interested in shifting the way they age, because it's a combination of things. It's the patch technology and movement and mindset and the unfoldment of community in collaboration. What we notice is that as people move into different decades, it appears that what's really important is that there is a community to be a part of. And so this special group that we're practicing to determine the opportunity for movement plus patch technology and nutrition, what difference that can make. And then that becomes your personal story that's part of your involvement in a community that gives you maybe a multi-pronged approach to speaking to people who are struggling, thinking that they have to, whatever mainstream has told them about what happens when you're in your 60s or 70s. We have a new story that's emerging. And you can point to what you've learned in the community that you're a part of. And it's not about selling patches. It's about educating and empowering people to play and take on a new way of moving into who they really are, really, with support. And that's the best way I can describe it. It's a multi-pronged approach of what you're creating here, Barb. And this extra phase of adding additional patches to strengthen core, it just seems that the core is the thing that all the people who are talking about fitness go, if you don't have your core, you just don't have it. So you're combining now resistance training with patch technology with core strengthening in a community that's focusing on, hey, we can reverse aging. I think that that's a great combination. And together we could probably help people find which part of that they're most interested in and how to connect them to the rest of the story. So I really want to acknowledge you, Barb, for you put forth the best campaigns. If you were running for office somewhere, I would vote for you. Barb for president, prime minister,
Oh,
whatever,
no.
you know how to organize and get people organized in a way that helps them help you make a difference as a collective. So congratulations, my dear. I
Wow.
love being with you on this.
Thank you. That's marvelous. So we're going to sign off the recording now so that we'll have something to share with all the other folks here. So that is wonderful.